And welcome to Thursday. And so this is a recorded only class. So I hope that you can get in and get completed early on Thursday so you can start that weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and get right to it. So let's take a look. Here we are on your home page. We are in week 1. As always, I want to point out that here is your live class recordings. You can click right here and take a look. And so here they are. So if you need to, you can go back and refer to them. There's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The other thing on your homepage, I want to point out you can get to your grades from here, or you can come down here, click on the big box. There's your grades right there. You will see them listed here. If there's comments that I put out there, you will see a little tag that you can click on. Read what those comments are. Another thing I want to point out, you'll always see your syllabus here with that participation right there at 25%. These are those daily assignments that you're going to be doing at the end of the session that gives you not only your attendance, but that participation. That's what that 25% is. 40% for your assignments that you do through the week, 15% on that final project. That is that 3-part project that we're talking about as we go through. That's 15% of your grade. Midterm and final, those are each 10%. So I want to point those out. So when you see things are 100 points, 100 points, 100 points, know that they have different effects on your total grade. All right, so let's get to getting here. We are at the end of week 1 because Thursday is Friday here at Southern Tech. And as I told you before, I am going through the assignments and I'm going to be putting in temporary zeros because as it says right up here, this is the day that it opens. This is the day that you should have completed it. Now you can still go in and work on these and complete them after the day because there is another column that says closes. That is when this assignment locks and you can no longer get into it. Now you can still submit between the due and close date and that is perfectly fine, but you will see a late marking on your assignment. And once things start to become late, I go through and I put in temporary 0 grades so that you know where you are if you don't complete that assignment. Okay, so try to stay up with the class because going back and trying to catch up is a little more difficult. Now, if you've been in some ground classes, they can be very lenient depending on where the campus is, and we are tightening down on those campuses because Southern Tech's rule is if you get an extension, which is not guaranteed, the longest it can be is 7 days after the original due date. So that means an assignment that was due in week 1, the last time you can even possibly submit it is in week 2. That means you cannot get to the last week of the class and catch everything up. It's not going to happen. Once week 3 comes around, week 1's assignments are off the table completely. Week 4 comes around, there is no week 1, there is no week 2. So if you are missing assignments, you are going to be stuck. You cannot make those up. The daily live conference participation assignments, those cannot be made up ever. You can't miss a class on ground and then come back the following day and get attendance. That doesn't work either. So that's why those are daily. All right. So we are on Thursday, the last day of the week. Hopefully you've been keeping up and you will have a light workflow today. So today, your assignment, resume keywords. And I mentioned this yesterday. So what you're going to do is you're going to search the internet and find 3 job postings for your career. And so you would definitely go in here, click on your search, and so you might type in HVAC positions in Auburndale. Okay, and you'll see that there are some listed. So here's one for Polk Air. Click on that, and you'll see that they have requirements listed here. It's got some reviews, etc. So what you would do is you would take a look and see what they have. So go in, find what they are looking for, and we are looking for soft and hard skills. Now remember, we went over what soft skills and hard skills are. Soft skills are those ones that are transferable. These are your people skills. These are your thinking skills. Those are those skills that are harder to regulate or to figure out exactly how to measure them. These are the ones for negotiating, problem solving. Those are your soft skills. Your hard skills, like in HVAC, would be doing your actual temperature measuring, the ones where you're actually testing the gauges, you're doing the actual installs, things like that. Those are hard skills. In animal care, that's going to be your animal restraint, your actual taking of blood, checking temperatures, things like that. Those are specific to your career. Hard skills are very career specific. If it's something that can be done by all careers, those are soft skills or transferable skills. So start to get used to the difference between hard skills and soft skills. So you need 3 job postings. Okay, you're going to give me the links to those jobs. I need to see those 3 job listings. Okay, don't just say I found 3 and give me those. I need to see those job listings. It's very easy once you find the job listings here and you found them. Like here's one, HVAC service technician. Boom, right here. So here's the job description. Show the full description, etc., etc. Click on the application. Up here at the top, right click on that, say copy, paste that into the actual assignment. That is number 1. And you can see right here the qualifications, boom, 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 etc. All right, so that's how you do that assignment. You click on the green box where it says start assignment, right up there. Let me move me out of the way. You say text entry. You will paste that in there. There's your first job. You'll do 3 of those and you'll list soft skills and hard skills. Okay? And that's how you'll do that assignment. So your week 1 assignment for today, for Thursday, is very light. So hopefully you can catch up on anything that you may have missed earlier in the week. Bonus points. Why you chose this field. You do not have to do this assignment, but why did you choose your career? Click Start Assignment, text entry. Tell me why you chose it. What this is going to be good for is 5 points on the midterm. That may not sound like much, but if you're at a 75 on the midterm, that 5 points will bump you up to an 80. So you go from a C to a B. It is 5 hard points on top of whatever you score on that midterm. I suggest you do it. If you decide not to do it, then you wait to see what you do on the midterm. It will be too late. Okay? Once I grade your midterm, you will not have a chance to go back and get those extra points. So it's a now or never type situation, not wait to see. Sometimes you have to take opportunity when it is given to you. All right? So that's going to be the assignments for today. So let's take a look at what we need to talk about. So here we go. I'm going to start the presentation. Yay, and it fits inside the recording. And I'm going to turn my little pencil on here and make sure that it works. Move my keyboard out of the way, get my iPad here, and of course the cable is stuck on the corner of the desk. When given the opportunity, a cable will always find the closest leg of a chair or a table to get caught on. So that's what it is trying to do. All right. So we've got that now. I have to be able to maneuver it where I can actually draw on this thing. And it is working. Yay. Okay, so we're going to talk about the purpose of a resume, the importance of keywords. I cannot stress the importance of that. Talk about the sections of your resume, 3 types of resumes, formats. These formats are key. 2 examples of non-traditional ones, and professional references. Okay, so this is something that's really important. So everyone knows that a resume is a document. Okay, resumes have changed over time. They used to only be black and white. Now they can be in full color. They used to only be able to be typed. Now they can be printed. My first resume was $300. I got 2 copies, and that was it. Okay, now why do we do these? The purpose is to convince the potential employer that the applicant's experience and skills match. Okay, why is that key? That skills match? Because you need to use those key words. And look at this, it should be updated for each job application. It's not necessarily one size fits all. We assume that once you have one, it's supposed to be one size fits all. No, you can move things around, okay, to make it better for each job, and you're best if you do. So we're going to create a template, okay? Remember that, it's a template, okay? And you want to make sure that it looks nice and balanced. It's got a pleasant appearance on the page, okay? So we want to make sure the fonts look good, it's easy to read, etc. And we use a template so that we can customize it for those different people. So I keep emphasizing keywords, keywords, keywords. These relate to those open positions, and they are nouns or noun phrases. Keywords trend. Okay, your job has trending ideas, and you need these ideas in your resume. Okay, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are not using your keywords, you are going to be skipped. Okay, so you need to start utilizing these keywords. Put them in your resume. Reword your resume. People go, I have a resume, I'm not changing it. Good for you. Stand your ground. Stand your unemployed ground. Okay, I like to joke. I like to be very honest with people. One of them is you could be as unemployed as you want to be. Okay? I'm going to be honest. I see the resumes come through. You can have all the skills in the world. If your resume looks bad or sounds bad, I'm not calling you in to interview you. If you're not taking the time to do a good resume, you're not going to take the time to do a good job at work. Resumes with matching keywords get responses. Without them, they're ignored. Flat telling you. You don't have to listen to me, and when you don't get called, there's your answer. You need to use these. So how do you find the keywords? Look right here. Reading and interpreting blueprints. Boom. Selecting appropriate welding process for a job such as MIG, TIG, or stick welding. Boom. Those highlighted things are keywords. If you say, I'm great at welding, what kind of welding? What welding do you do? I'm moving on. Okay, I am an expert in MIG, TIG, and stick welding. Boom, now you're being picked up. Now your resume is going to make it to my desk. Okay, this is how you read a job post and pick out those keywords. So what if you don't have those keywords in your resume? You go back and you add them. You should always have an editable or Word document version of your resume. You should not just have a PDF. You need a Word version and a PDF version. Okay? The Word version that you have, that's the one you edit. You keep a master copy. And when you're going to send, send a copy to someone, you make a copy of your master, you modify that copy, and then you save it as a PDF to send out. You never destroy your master. You make a copy, modify that one for the company you're applying to, and then save it as a PDF and ship it out. Okay? Because people use what we call automatic tracking systems. Okay? And automatic data software. Okay? Or ADT. Automatic data tracking software. And what that's going to do is it goes through all the applications that come in. And it has a list of keywords from those job descriptions. And if those keywords aren't found in your resume, it's not picked up. Okay? It doesn't matter if you got 50 years worth of experience. If you don't have the keywords, you're not picked up. This is why you're not getting calls back. Check to see if you have the keywords for that job description. Now, every job description can be unique. So if you want to work for that company, you take your master resume, you open it up, you save a copy. That copy you save, you can call it company blah, blah, blah. You make the modifications, you save it, you save a copy as a PDF, you send that custom copy to that company. That's how you do it. Now, your resume has different sections. A heading, a summary, skills, experience, education. Makes sense. Every part's a little bit different. Now, that optional section, this is where you put your volunteer. Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. Those of you in animal care, if you haven't volunteered somewhere and you come in for animal care, I'm not interested. Okay, because volunteering in animal care is the best way to get practical experience. So look for places you can volunteer. Go to the SPCA, go to shelters, go to any type of 501c charity, get some volunteer work, get some practical experience. These are ways you can further your education, okay? And so, also, if you have a lot of extensive military experience, that goes down here as well, okay? Your heading, this is your full name, phone number, email address, and geographic location. This is where you put city and state, not your street address. We don't do that anymore, okay? Take that off. That is a safety issue, okay? We don't want to know your street address. That is a safety issue for theft, any types of issues like that. City and state only, okay? Full name, phone number, email address, city, state. That's it. When you get further down or other parts of the application, but not on your resume, okay? So legal name, not nicknames, not even in quotes, legal name. Address or geographic area. You need to be business-like. You need to speak business-like. You need to write it. Okay? Don't go trying to play cool or suave or anything. Your telephone number, professional email address. We don't want email addresses like too hot for you, okay? And links to any social media account like LinkedIn and stuff like that. They need to be professional related social media accounts, okay? Those are very important. Remember, you are your brand. The summary section gives you an idea of their qualification. You describe yourself here. My name is so-and-so. I do this and this and this. Okay? Excuse me. You're going to briefly describe your strengths and skills. Okay? Keep it professional. Okay? Don't put slang in there. Don't put street talk in here. You need to describe yourself in a professional way. It doesn't matter if you're going to work for a shop that's real casual, etc. You need to show respect for the owner of this place, the business that is running. You need to respect them, and you show it in the summary. Okay, this should be a brief overview of your qualifications and your personal brand statement. We're going to write a personal brand statement. A statement is one sentence. A personal brand statement will be one sentence that defines you. So you're going to define yourself in one sentence, okay, like a slogan. And we're not talking something catchy. The next section will be your skills, hard and soft. It should be bulleted. This is bulleted here. Those little dots. It can be 2 columns if you have a lot of skills. Don't just make them one massive column taking up a whole page. Put it in 2 columns. And notice that it says the goal is to list the top skills to entice the employer. So whatever they list in that job listing, those are the things you move to the top. And if on the next job listing they have them in a different order, you move them around. You move them to match the employer. It's not one size fits all. And they should, look right here, reflect the keywords in the job advertisement. Whatever they put, you give them. And they're going to be like, wow, they have everything I want right here. The next one that comes in doesn't. You have the advantage. Honesty. Do not stretch the truth because they're going to call you out on it. Okay? Education. Okay? If you're no longer a student, you list the year, your degree, your school name, city and state. Not the street address again. City and state. If you're still in school, you list the expected graduation date. Okay? See how that works? You still list it with the expected graduation date. So now we get to experience. Experience is all your experience. It doesn't have to be just that job. Be proud of everything you've done because you gain and learn as you go. So you put the name and company you worked for, the city and state, again, no street address, the start and end dates, so they can see how long you worked there, and any keywords that might be related. You know, if you had something that might be related, and tell them what you did on the job that was good. Okay, be positive in everything you put. Now, there's different timelines and ways of putting things in a resume. So you can list things by a timeline. You can list things by skills. or you can list things as a combination. And there's an advantage and disadvantage to each one. Okay? So a timeline is going to put employer's work experience in order by time. Okay? You use this if your recent work experience is the best qualification for the open position. Okay? Skills is best if you have more skills than experience. Okay? And this is important to know which you do best. And then there's a combination. Okay? And the skills is also best used if you have gaps in your history, your work history, for any reason. And it's okay to have gaps in your work history. You can always explain why. Okay? Most common one now is because of COVID. Okay? And the combination is exactly what it says. It is a combination of skills and timeline. So it's uses a little bit of both, showing your skills associated with those particular jobs in order as they go down. For students, I strongly recommend listing those skills first. Show them what you can do, then list out your work experience and your education. All right? Now, saving a resume. I've mentioned having a master resume. Name it master resume or something like that, usually with a date on it, so you have that information. This is going to be a working document. I call them living documents because you are constantly changing them. Master resume, I always keep my one copy, then I make a copy that I am working with. Okay, this is not the file to send to your employer that you're working with. Okay, you take your working copy, the one you made, that's the one you're going to be modifying for each individual employer you're going to turn in. So you make your changes for that individual. Then when you save it, you save it as a PDF. Why? Because a PDF keeps the file intact, all formatting, and it keeps it from change. Okay? You want this to go to that employer just the way you saved it, exactly the way you want it. Okay? So you save it as a PDF to send. The Word document is the way you can change it. Then once you have it just the way you want it, you save a copy as a PDF and you ship that out to everybody that needs that exact format. Now, everybody goes on Indeed and Monster, etc., and it wants you to upload a copy of your resume. Go back to your Word document and save it as plain text. Come back to Indeed and then upload that plain text version. And the reason why you do this is because it will fill everything out on those websites. Okay, plain text takes away all the fancy formatting, allows it to pull it up and fill out 90% of those websites for you. Okay, so it's very important that you know Word document is how you make your changes. PDF is how you ship it out. Plain text allows you to upload it to websites and fill in that information for you. Now, there's a couple of non-traditional ones, web-based and visuals. These are typically for the more creative careers, and web-based one, you can actually create these in Word. You can go in there, lay it out in Word, and save it as an HTML document. And then once you have it saved as an HTML document, load it up on Word or load it up on the internet, and you will have a web page that you can work with. Other visual ones, again, those are set up so that you can give people the web addresses so that they can go there and visualize or visually see them. We don't get too much into them because they're typically not for the careers we teach at. Okay, before you post a resume or send it out, proofread it. Okay, run the spell checkers. You'd be surprised how many resumes we get without people running a spell checker. Read each line for clarity to make sure it makes sense. Just because it's passed as a spell checker, the word could be incorrect. Okay, make sure it looks right, it's formatted correctly, and make sure you use a checklist like this to make sure it looks good. Now, we're used to having personal references, but a professional reference is a bit different. They know you, but they know your skills, talents, and personal traits, and they're willing to recommend you, but on a professional level. This is more than just your uncle who says, yeah, they're a good worker. They need to know your actual skills. Okay, so it's a little bit more. So they need to know your professional strengths. Okay, so think about on a professional level. Make sure you talk to them first, that they're aware of what you need them to do. You don't want them contacting somebody and them going, I have no idea what you're talking about. Some jobs, believe it or not, will contact 100% of your professional references. I know Southern Tech does. So please make sure you know. Make a list and collect the proper information. So this document here, you can see you have the person's name, you have their title, you have their information on where they work, and their contact information where they can be reached, so the person can get a hold of them, and they will contact them and make sure that you can be validated. Now, this has been a busy week. It's been a new week. You got to meet me. You got to be introduced to the class and online. A whole new structure even for online, being in class every day. So this week, I want you to list 3 things that you learned in this class this week and be specific. I want you to get used to describing things very specifically because that's going to help you out in the long run. So this is our last class for this week, week 1. Next week is midterm week. At the end of the week, we will be halfway through. So we are getting closer to a lot of you getting ready to graduate. So I want you to take care for this week and answer this by 6 p.m. on Thursday, and that will be all for today. Thank you.